This program contains dramatic reenactments and material that may be disturbing to some audience members. Viewer discretion is advised.
Nearly 100,000 backpackers come to Australia every year. They stay for weeks or months, most following the well-traveled East Coast routes. In recent years, over a dozen young Australians and tourists had vanished from the highways. No one knew what had happened to them. In September of that year, 2 runners were training in Belanglo State Forest. A few feet from the track, they discovered a body. 100 feet away, another corpse was found. When police arrived at the scene, they were shocked at what they saw. The Missing Persons Inquiry had gathered dental records of backpackers who had disappeared. 2 records matched the bodies. They were 21-year-old Caroline Clark and 22-year-old Joanne Walters. British backpackers reported missing 5 months earlier. In April 1992, Caroline and Joanne had left Sydney looking for a lift to Melbourne. Their families never heard from them again. Caroline was shot in the head 10 times. The police thought she'd been used as target practice. There were groups of wounds on the back of her head and on either side. Joanne died very differently. Holes in her shirt showed 14 stab wounds. She'd been stabbed 4 times in the chest, once in the neck, and 9 times in the back. The stab wounds to her spine would have paralyzed her.
I did wonder how many more bodies we would find, and it was several weeks before I had any confidence that we knew that answer.
The bodies that were located were within 50 or 60 metres of a dirt track. So based on that, that's what caused our search to continue along those lines. If we went 30, 40, 50 metres in with 20 police on the line, depending on the country and the tracks in the area, that we hoped we'd find, if there were more bodies, we'd hope we'd find them.
The bodies were identified by dental records. Deborah Everest and James Gibson both grew up in Melbourne but hadn't known each other long. James Gibson's skeleton was marked with 8 stab wounds. A large knife had cut through his upper spine, causing paralysis. Stab wounds to his back and chest would have punctured his heart and lungs. Deborah Everest had been savagely beaten, her skull fractured in 2 places, her jaw broken. There were knife marks on her forehead. She'd been stabbed once in the back. Her pantyhose had been used to tie her up. 21-year-old Simone Schmidl from Germany was outgoing and sporty. She'd been in Australia for 4 months before she vanished. She'd hitched to Melbourne once already and thought it was safe. Simone was on her way to hook up with her friends when she was abducted. She was driven for half an hour deep into the forest. She would have known there was no escape. Her bones showed 8 stab wounds. There could have been many more. 2 had severed her spine, others had punctured her heart and lungs. The body count in the forest was now 5. The violence had reached a new level. "20-year-old Anya Habshid had finished her studies and wanted to travel. She and her boyfriend, 21-year-old Gabor Neugebauer, left Germany in October 1991 to travel around Indonesia. Going to Australia was a spur-of-the-moment decision. Gabor was shot 6 times in the head. "20-year-old Anya had been decapitated. Her head was never found. This time, police used an anthropologist to analyze the murders. Once again, the very different methods used to kill Gabor and Anya suggested that there was more than one killer.
decapitation of Anya Habshid suggested to me the possibility, the likelihood of two perpetrators, because I could imagine a dominant individual, the dominant individual, simply taking her hair and cutting her head off and making some sort of laconic and ironic kind of comment to the effect of, well, that should shut her up. But also something which would be a statement of dominance over the other individual.
It appeared Gabor had been used as shooting practice, just like Caroline Clark, the British girl found over a year before. There were 3 bullet holes in the left of his skull and 3 at the base. It looked like the same person was responsible,